What is the difference between Chinese and Western writing? Many Chinese students can achieve good grades in English classes in China but get C or D in English classes in Western countries. Why is this happening? In order to find the answer to our question, I talked to my high school Chinese teacher, Mr. He. Hi, Mr. He. How do you think the study of Chinese literature affects the way students think and write?
Chinese students study a lot of classical Chinese writing before they enter university. Classical Chinese writings are different from English writing in rhetorical style. They are highly concise and attempt to express the most content possible with the few words. It is highly symbolic and its rhetorical style is to use a few simple words to represent a whole image. For example, as the famous Chinese poet Whiten, 飞流直下3000尺，疑似银河落九天. In Chinese artistic conception, Chinese reader can understand the full beauty and majesty. This is classical Chinese rhetorical style, which is concision, imagination, lack of detail. It can be hard to understand for people with a non-Chinese cultural background.
Thank you for your answer, Mr. He. I want to know why does Chinese students' writing often confuse native English-speaking readers?
Classical Chinese writing has supreme status in Chinese literature education. Chinese students read and recite a great deal of classic Chinese writing. Students absorb those classical rhetorical choices and copy them in their writing. When Chinese students write in English, they can't help following those rhetorical patterns. Those choices will confuse non-Chinese readers.
In order to understand the Western students' opinion about Western writing, we talked with Brad, who is our WRS101 tutor.
Hello, Brad. How does Western writing introduce ideas?
Western writing has a large emphasis on the why behind our ideas. Due to the type of literature that we have been taught, we have to state our opinion and also explain its importance in the writing. You can't just introduce an idea into a piece of writing in Western culture. You have to integrate it into your paper by explaining why it belongs in the paper.
Chinese students are used to summarizing the meaning of materials in detail in their writings.
Brad, as a native English speaker, how do you compose your writing?
I start with generative writing about the topic. Then, I pick ideas that I think will work for the paper, and I organize them in a way that works for the assignment. Next is the process of revision. I go through many revisions of a single piece of writing where I can change ideas, paragraphs, and sometimes even my thesis.
In my opinion, I think good academic writing has a strong and convincing argument throughout the piece.
Also, we interviewed our instructor, Christina, about Chinese students' writing problems and what Western teachers expect in writing. Hi, Christina. What do you think is the difference in thinking between Chinese students and Western students?
This is a big question about rhetorical traditions. That means the ways people think and write that grow out of their cultures. The Western University wants things like critical thinking and voice. We expect you to question things and come up with your own perspectives, to question the experts. We expect you to develop your own arguments from thesis statements. We also expect to see you as an individual in your writing through your ideas, the way you say things, and your writing style.
I have one more question. In this semester, what do you find most common problems in the writing of WRS101 students?
Before we discuss this question, we should know what is hoax.
Hi, Crystal. Could you explain what is hoax?
The most important part of a paper, often called higher order concerns, which is hoax, are the big picture elements such as thesis or focus, audience and purpose, organization and development.
My students often have good basic ideas, but they tend to stay on the surface of those ideas. They don't develop them. They often are not specific enough, and they don't give many details or examples.
I have also faced these problems. When I had first come into contact with Western writing, I could never find the issue I was having. Later on in learning Western writing, I was able to discover critical thinking.
Another problem is organization. In the Western University, we often ask for long writing. You have to organize a logical and cohesive argument over 800 or 1,000 words or more. That's a lot different from writing short forms like paragraphs. My students' papers often go off track, or they seem scattered or disconnected. They lack good transitions between ideas.
As we've mentioned throughout the video, we think that most Chinese students have come in contact with these problems. This is most likely due to the lack of understanding Western writing. We hope that after watching this video, you will gain more confidence in your future academic career.